you know, it's great to see. I mean, the flat is not complete. We're like 3.5 months into this build, these adoptions. I've got the cats all snoozing. They're all in here. They're all asleep. Percy's in the far bit of, you can just about see his bum over there. It's either his bum or his ear. No, it's his bum. It's just how he's lying. He's really awkwardly lying. He's full of, still a bit nasally, but he was full of cold. He's a lot better to what he was. Here's Minnie. Here's Minnie. Yeah. Say hi. And you can see the top of her head. Hey. Yeah. She's on me, so she's purring. She's happy. The sad bit is, you can hear her really loudly. The sad bit about it is, I mean, 3.5 months into the build, the adaptions. I say the build, it probably would be quicker to build a house than it would for these guys. Could you imagine them building a house? I should ask the question, you know, do you build houses? How long does it take? You have to be on a wait list for like 3 years or something. But this is the table that Minnie is on. This is it. This is the table. That's it. It's not a big table, as you can see. It's just a small. This is her donut bed that she absolutely adores sleeping in. It's her comfort blanket. I bought this for her, believe it or not. I mean, they all love it. It's an anxiety bed. And it makes her feel secure and safe. But that's it. This is where she sleeps. The windowsill just there is sometimes where she'll sit on, but that is it. You know, about a week or so ago, she was actually, occasionally she'll sleep on the arm of the chaise over there, and she was asleep on there because it's got a bit of a dip. It came with a dip in the arm. It did say on the description of this place that I bought it from, this antique place, that oh, it needs a bit of work in the arm, you know, filling out, but the cats love it. It's like their little sleeping area. And she was on there, and Cosmo and Percy had come along, and I know as I was coming from the kitchen into the hallway, she fell off, rolled onto the floor, and she was out in the hallway, so to speak, right in the doorway. And I literally come along in my chair, and I shut the cats, because those two were in here. And I said, come and have a run around, come and have a play. And she had such a huge panic attack, and she was panicking of how to get back in and on her bed. And that's all she wanted to do, was to be back on this. And I managed to get her back in the room. She ran straight in. She got jumped on by Cosmo, and because there's a cat tower that's to the side of this, and she climbed onto that and onto here. But my concern is, you know, from that, and just thinking quality of life. Is this quality of life? Is she having, you know, quality of life? She and Gizmo are my two eldest cats. These are my first cats. All my cats that I've got now I've had from babies. And, I mean, the big question for me, I mean, I will be taking her soon. I did ring the vets up and I said, because I had an appointment originally booked for Cosmo, and then I cancelled it because he was weeing. But my concern was that he was having a water infection and he wasn't weeing, but he was weeing, but not a lot. But I put water in the dry food and it encouraged him to wee more, and he was then okay. So I cancelled the appointment. But my big question is, and I said to them, I said, you know, I told them that I'm having builders in, and I said, I've got one at the minute because I had that decorator, that useless one, come. And I said, in a few weeks, I'm going to bring them down and just get them all in for checkups, weights, and then I can get some flea wormer stuff in for them all with the correct weights and things, because they've all, you know, through change of food, lost a bit of weight. And I want them to have the right amount for their bellies, you know, and for them. Otherwise, if you give them the wrong amount, you can give them all sorts of issues. But this one here, my concern is that just living on this table is not what you call, it's not quality of life, is it? At the end of the day, you could say, oh, she's happy, she's sitting, you know, she's able to watch the world go by, she's able to get up, walk to where she's eating, you know, where her food and the water are, because they're on the table with her. Yeah, Cosmo and Percy seem to have calmed down. Well, Percy's full of colds, so he's not interested at the moment. He's done a bit of wandering around and gone on the windowsill in the bedroom and all that kind of stuff. And Cosmo's not bothered Minnie whatsoever. He's even stood beside her to where the food bowl is, to get a few bits of food off her, and disappeared. So he's not as bad. He's calmed down because the door hasn't been shut and they've not really been closed in. Friday they were, but that was it. And they've all had the odd strange behaviour because of stress and being shut in a room for, like, not day and night for 3 months, but like for X amount of hours. They have been closed in altogether, so the builders can get in and do what they need to do, and no excuses really of cats being, you know, in the flat. I don't know. I'm really sort of banging my head against a brick wall, but when I start taking them, I think Minnie will be the first one, because my question will be, is that I know she's dropped some weight, and that's because she's got no muscle in her legs. You know, the muscle in her legs is sort of dwindling because she's not running round and she's not jumping. She's not using her limbs properly, because all she's doing is going from chair to table to bed to the bowl that's by the side. The cat litter tray is the opposite side of me. I've got a tray down in a little area that she was using, and I thought, right, I'll put a tray down there. Unfortunately, there have been times where she's pooped in the window, on the windowsill, and I've had to come along and clean that up and obviously put stuff down to clean it all up with, and that to deodorise it and disinfect it and make it like as if it's not actually happened. Yeah, sorry, I know you've don't really want to be seeing the floor and maybe just a cat that's asleep, but my concern is quality of life. Is it quality of life? Is it fair? Should I be asking the question? Because I don't know what the, you know, I could, it's a good job we're not going away on holiday, but we're going to have to cancel it for personal reasons. But I wouldn't be comfortable going away on holiday with a cat on the table that needs round the clock looking after, because there's times where I'll say to her, do you need a wee? Do you need a poop? And she'll go down onto the tray with me sitting here and she'll go. But aside from that, she holds it in. Most of the time she's asleep on the bed. And it worries me, to be honest, and there's times where I've sat and I've cried over this. because I do worry and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. You know, like when you see a cat that's at the end of their life and they're struggling to get around and stuff. That's how it feels with Minnie and how she is at the moment. I don't like talking about this in front of her, to be honest. Because it's like, you feel like they're listening into, you know. It worries me. I'm not going to lie, it worries me. I look at her and I just think, is it fair to keep a cat living on a table? If she was in a dog crate of the size of the table all of the time, let out to pee and poop, but that was it. The food was in there, the water was in there. People would say that's cruel. But she's not confined. She can get down whenever she wants, but she chooses to stay up there. There's been a couple of times where she has come down onto the floor and I'm like, that's fantastic. But then she gets jumped upon, and she's been jumped upon with fur being pulled out of her and stuff. It's been horrible. Very traumatic for her. And it just makes me just wonder about quality of life. I don't know. I really don't know what to do. But I do see her wasting away, getting smaller. You know, her legs definitely don't have that same muscle tone about them anymore. There's times where she's got a bit of a wobble to her when she's manoeuvring around, and I know it's down to the fact that she's not walking around and she's not using her legs. I mean, I could be really cruel and like pick her up and put her on the floor, but she'd just panic. I mean, she's been that time where I shut the door with all the cats in here apart from her, and I was like, come on, let's have a walk around, you know, let's go in the kitchen. There's times where I've taken her on my chair, on my lap, into the kitchen, you know. She used to climb down and onto my lap, and I'd take her on the chair in the kitchen and I'd put her on the worktop in there, and she'd have a little bit of sitting there and a sniff around so I could change the scenery. There's times where she'd be on my lap and she'd jump down and she'd literally run back from the kitchen to the living room, and then she'd be jumped upon by Cosmo and Percy. So I just feel like I'm on borrowed time with her. I'm on borrowed time. And no cat owner wants to put down. I don't want to put down a healthy cat. I think there's discussions I've got to have with the vets of what is considered quality of life. Is it fair to keep her alive? Is it kinder to let her go, be put to sleep, so literally give her an injection so she falls asleep and never wakes up? I really don't know what to do. I mean, I sit with her on my lap and she's purring and she's lovely and I love her to bits. And I just think no cat should live like this, you know? I don't know what to do. It does scare me, because I don't want her to suddenly start dwindling more and more and more, to the point of like where one of my old cats that I had, I mean, she needed, as soon as I became free from my last abuser, I took her to the vets and had her put to sleep. She literally was like a skeleton with fur placed over her. He was like, oh, she's fine, she's fine. But she wasn't fine. She struggled with arthritis because she had no muscle on her joints, and she struggled to She was in so much pain. She was so robotic to try and walk around, and getting down, she struggled to get up and down and off the table and stuff. Beautiful old cat called Sadie. As soon as I became free, one of the first things I did was I was taking her to be put to sleep, and I felt really bad, and I cried like a baby all the way to the vets. And then I absolutely sobbed in the vet's waiting area, because I knew that, I just thought this is the right thing. But she was able to eat, drink, pee, poop, you know. It's the same kind of vibe, and it just makes me think, you know, Minnie is just losing weight and changing now, and because of not being able to get about. And I think, should I be putting her to sleep before she gets to the stage of Sadie? And she's in too much pain, because I know she's got some forms of arthritis in her. I just don't know. You know, when there's something physical, like with Charlie, and he had forget what it's called now, stomatitis, I think it is, with the gums. And then he was having fits and all this sort of stuff. And with him, I knew it was time. With Bob, my ginger cat, he had kidney failure. And I knew it was the right thing to do, because he was like literally like an overinflated balloon. His legs, everything just inflated. His face inflated. Oh my God. Could not make it up. Could not make it up. I mean, you can see the state of her. Bloody hell. Now he's up there. I just want to see what reaction to her being on the floor. I've not seen her on the floor. Suddenly he's noticed she's on the floor. Is he going to do anything or no? It's like a miracle. It's like she's understood every word I've said. It's like, fuck, I better go and, you know. I really don't know. I just want her to start going on the floor, and you can see the difference in her, definitely. I just want her to be well. I just want her to be well and to be okay. And maybe it's just needing time just for them to all adjust back again. Because my plan of action is, when the doorway's been done for my chair to get through. Oh, she's back up now. But that is a first. Good girl. Good girl. Hey? Good girl. I'm proud of you. Hey? Yeah. Yeah. Do you want the toilet? Go on then. Go on then. Go on. Good girl. It's okay. Minnie, go on. Go on. Go on. Come on. Minnie, go on. Go on. Oh, God. I don't know. I'm sort of debating what to do. I mean, all my cats that have had issues, it's been super easy. A hard decision, but an easy decision. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this is completely different for me. But I'm just going to bide my time and just see how she gets on, and hope that as things become a bit easier, that maybe she won't need to be put to sleep. I just want them all to be okay and things to calm back to how it used to be. Good girl, man. Oh. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Because my thinking is that when the doorway's been widened here, I want to do a bit of a change around with furniture and all that sort of stuff. I want to maybe have a change around with the layout, some of the furniture. I mean, I might end up moving the chaise out and getting like a two-seater, like one of those corner ones that goes into like an L shape, and then move this table to more over to where I'm seated and get rid of this. So then that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And then add cat towers and things and walkways, shelves and things. So they've got, you know, that's what I want to do, is get things in for the cats. So it makes it like more like an outdoor, indoor kind of environment. So they've got shelves to jump on and climb on, and I'll put bedding, like little cat beds up there and stuff like that on the top shelf, and you know, stuff like that. Good girl. Well done. Well done, Minnie. You finished? Ooh, good girl. She's been the loo, thank goodness for that. That's something else. You know, not toileting as properly as she has been, and toileting in the wrong place and that. At least, you know, it's been like a habit. I really hope change happens for her, because I just want her to be well. So, we'll see. But anyway, I'm going to sign off. I just thought I'd do a bit of an update on how the cats are doing in general. But I just want change to happen for these guys, so they're more comfortable in their own space. Anyway, love and leave. Catch you later. Bye.